Welcome to the Rise and Ride Show, the podcast with me, Katie Jacks from Align and Advance, Equine Reiki practitioner and rider confidence coach. This is your space for honest conversations around rider confidence, mindset, horses, healing and personal growth, helping you feel calmer and more connected, more confident, both in and out of the saddle. If you enjoy this podcast, I'd be so grateful if you could subscribe and leave a review, because it genuinely helps more lovely, heart-led equestrians find our community and feel supported on their journey too. Thank you for being here. Now let's get into today's episode. Hello and welcome to the Rise and Ride podcast. Today I'm joined by Maddie, who has got Lorcan, and we're going to hear a little bit about their journey. I discovered Maddie on Instagram. I was going to say YouTube then, but it was Instagram, and I've been really interested in their story. So welcome, Maddie. Thank you for your time and thank you for coming.
Thank you so much. It is so lovely to be here. It is amazing to be a part of a podcast that I already listened to. So I'm feeling very starstruck.
Oh, that's really exciting. It's really exciting. It's so funny, isn't it? Because like you're saying you feel starstruck because you already listened to the podcast, but I feel the same because I watch you on Instagram. And I absolutely adore your handsome boy. Gosh, isn't he gorgeous?
He is a big Irish boy. He's gorgeous. But I think we're all going to say that anyway about him.
Exactly. My Toby's Irish as well, and before him my last horse was Irish as well, and I think there's something about the Irish boys. I like them.
It really is. Seen all of our
Don't tell my husband. Oh dear. And how long have you had him?
So we only got him in August of last year. Before that, I thought I was done with horses. So grew up with horses all my life. My mum is a BHSAI instructor, so she taught me my whole life. I thought, I'm going to get into horses. I'm going to be a vet. Life did not turn out that way. And I ended up an environmental scientist and thought, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do another 360. I'm going to join the army. So I was in the military just over 6 years. And I said goodbye to the horsey life and said, that's it, never coming home, never going to see another horse again. Sold everything, hung my boots up, but always kept my riding hat, just in case. And we ended up getting Lorcan last August. So it has been an absolute journey coming back into it, and from thinking I was never gonna sit in a horse again, let alone bring on another youngster.
Oh my goodness, gosh, that's so funny. And how long were you out of horses for in the meantime?
Yeah, about 5 years.
Wow.
So I had a 25-year riding experience with my mum. We grew up breaking young ponies. That was my job. So I'm only 5 foot and very little. And I was always on the ponies, and it was always, well, you're little enough, you're going. You just made the sacrifice today. See how long you last. So I broke young ponies, then got into a bit of racing. Very quickly realised it was not for me. Had a really bad injury where I fell off, and my hat, whatever way it came up, I got kicked on the head instead. So I now have a lovely big hoof mark on my skull. That's proof of that injury. So that knocked a bit of sense into me, or knocked whatever brain cells I had left out of it. And I was like, that's it, no more. So that was the moment of realization that this was not going to be the career that I wanted it to be, and hung up the boot.
Oh my goodness. Oh, that's so funny. And it's so funny that you say that you kept your hat, because I had like a 15-year break and I also kept my hat. And when we got Toby, I used that same hat for probably about a year. And it was basically like putting an eggshell on my head. It was the world's crappiest hat. I think all the lining had degraded. And one day my kids looked at my hat and was like, Mummy, is that safe? I was like, oh, I don't know. I'd bought all them the body protectors and taken them to have them fitted properly, and got all their hats fitted well and everything. And then, but meanwhile, whenever he's naughty, it's me that has to get on. And then I was in this like weird shell of a hat, and I was like, yeah, okay, this Christmas I asked for a new riding hat.
It just goes to show though how there's always a little bit of you knows you were never going to leave, even if you thought you
Yeah.
were. You knew that you weren't.
Yeah.
And same as you, my riding hand had the big kick mark of it from when I got kicked.
Oh my gosh.
And I remember putting it back on and going, can't even legal anymore. I got this 15 years ago. And
Yes.
same as you, I continued riding in it and I kind of went, I don't think this is very safe. I know
No.
it's definitely had a few kicks, so I think I
Yeah.
need a new one. And I remember going into the tack shop for the first time, and it was all the same people that would have remembered me when I was younger. Like, oh my
Oh,
goodness, like Maddie, how are you? And it just felt like you never left. You just went straight back into the conversations that you had all those 5, 10 years ago. And it just felt like the community never left, and you feel like you just fit right back in. So that was my favorite moment of getting back into it.
oh, that's so nice. That is so nice to hear because, yeah, I think you're right. I think that you give a part of yourself, don't you, to the horsey life, and then the merest whiff of going back, you're all of a sudden like, I'm all in. I'm diving in.
You're
All my
straight
money,
in.
all my time, everything. I even changed my job, and I'm like, yeah, we're all in now, and that's it. That's our life. We smell.
I'm still going to Tesco's anyway.
Yeah. Absolutely, we do. Absolutely. I was walking around our local Morrison's the other day, and I was there were these two men in front of me, and they looked quite smart, and they kept stopping and slowing down, and then I kept slowing down and holding back. And they looked round at me, and I said, "Oh, I'm very sorry. I'm just trying to stay away from you because I really smell." And they said, one of them said, "Oh, I look smart now." He said, "But I own a livery yard, so don't worry. Like he'd been somewhere else, I don't know, to a meeting or something. But he said, I look smart now, but I own a livery yard. It's fine. Your smell's all right to me." I was like, "Oh, thank God."
You're one of us. You're one
Yeah.
of us.
Woohoo.
I
Oh
think it
dear,
goes to
so
show,
funny.
though, we can live so many different lives. Like, same as you, we all have normal jobs. I am
Yeah.
not a professional rider, I'm also an amateur. And you end up living two different lives. And I go to work, so I start 7 in the morning. So it means half 4 start to get Lorcan sorted before I go to work. And you go to work in your normal, nice clothes. I don't wear makeup or anything. And by the time you finish, I have a little bag in my car. So I'm just getting changed in the car, and you're like, right, okay, let's go. And all of a sudden, you just turn into the little horsey mum then
Yeah.
for the evening. I just feel like I live out of my little Marksy bag in the front seat at the moment.
And it's just such a lovely thing though, isn't it? Like when before I even gave it up, I before I had my break, I had my own business, and I used to finish there and then go straight to the yard, and then like you say, get changed just in the tack room like Superman. All of a sudden I'm in my dirty clothes, and then get on. My horse was called Alfie, and as soon as I was there with him, like the rest of the day just it's gone, it's melted away, whatever annoying customers I had or anything like that, it just isn't a problem anymore, and it's just such a nice wind down at the end of your day, I think.
Oh, 100%. And I don't think anybody that's non-horsey would never get that. So even sitting
No.
talking to people in work, they're going, "Well, you get up early to do that, or you're going back to poo pick a field, really." And I kind of go, "That's my favorite 15 minutes of my day because Lorcan
Yeah.
follows me around like a dog. He's
Yeah.
getting this in his ear, and I'm like, 'Did you want to know what such and such did today?' And all the dogs do. Like, Mom, you're broken. Why am I stuck with this one? Of all the
I
people I could have got, I'm stuck with her. But it's great. It's so therapeutic. And then by the time you finish poo picking and you've had your little grumble at life, you go, you know what? I feel okay now. I
Yeah,
feel good.
exactly. Exactly. It's just such a lovely, lovely magical thing, isn't it? And it's it's really nice. Like coming back into it, all my family have just kind of gone, "Oh, she's back into it now." And because the time and the what time's our barbecue? Because I need to go back and get Toby in and all of that. Um, but they're all really understanding, and like my sister's kids kind of come and join in with Toby as well, which is really, really nice. But yeah, like people that didn't know me before when I had horses and now I'm doing it, they're like, "Oh my gosh, this is time consuming, isn't it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, but I love it. And my husband has ended up taking up golf because he needs an equally time-consuming hobby.
Thankfully, I've roped mine into loving the horses. So we've had to sit on another horse, and I think he's hooked. Although he thinks he's like, oh, Ryan can trot, easy. Don't know what you're stressing about, easy. And I'm like, you wait, you
Yeah.
wait, and you see. Nothing tell me. So I think we got him roped in. So dear health, he's very good. So his name's Dylan.
Oh,
And he's just got sucked right in. He just one day I was like, right, Dylan, I want to get another horse again.
yeah.
And he just said, he's like, yeah, go for it, no problem. If that's what you want, then go for it. And from there, he learned how to muck guides and how to do stable management and just how to handle a horse from the ground. And he threw him straight in by having a couple of youngsters. So we had a previous horse to Lorcan called Molly, and she
Yeah.
was always supposed to be a project. So I brought her on to get ready for hunting season here. She's now living her best life and hunting home. So Dylan helped with her from the ground, and hopefully I have indoctrinated him into the horsey way of life that there's no way
That's
out again for him.
amazing. Well done, you. That's so nice. That is so, so lovely to hear. Oh,
And what
that's
made you want to get back into everything again? What was that kind of light bulb moment where you went, this is it, this is
well,
what I want to do?
the reason I kind of gave up was that I had my business and it was I was a florist and I had a florist shop and it was really, really busy and it was doing really well. But my horse was getting older and kind of needed almost exercising for longer but more gently
Feel
and
that.
yeah, and then and I was just really struggling for time, to be honest, and I was really enjoying the business side of it, so I sold him to a mother-daughter share, and just said, like, because they just wanted to kind of faff around with him, and when they
Yeah.
came to view him, someone else came to view him, and she was really she was fighting with him the whole time. He was quite if he didn't like you, he told you that he didn't like you, and that was it.
Yeah.
And once his mind was made up, like, that was it. I bought him off of the owner of my previous yard, and he had pinned her up against the stable wall. He'd been really, really nasty to her. Every time she got on him, he put her on the floor. But she was a really capable horsewoman, really capable, but very, very gentle and calm. And he
Yeah.
was a bit more feisty. And you kind of almost had to stand up to him and go, no, I'm here and I'm asking you to do this. You had to ask, not tell, but I'm still asking you firmly to do this. And then he understood. So kind of when I got him, I was a teenager. So I think a little sort of spunky teenager getting on him, he was just a bit like, oh, okay, this is fun. We'll do this. So I ended up buying him off of, well, my mum and dad bought him off of the owners of my old yard. And then this lady came to view him and she was really kind of like butting heads with him like as soon as she arrived, and I thought, I don't like you. And I said to her, take him in the school and then see how you feel in the school before you take him out around the fields. And she took him in the school for like 2 minutes and was like, yeah, I'd like to take him for a gallop. And I was like, maybe give it a minute. And then she said, no, 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 I'd like to take him out. I said, oh, okay then. And I just watched them across the back of the fields with him just going, ba-dum, 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 like this, just determined to get her off. And she came back and she went, yeah, I'll have him. And I was like, oh my God, will you? And she said, yeah. And then I was so blindsided by the fact that she said she'd have him. I didn't really know what to say. And she left. And then I phoned her up as soon as I got home, and said, I'm really sorry, I've decided not to sell him now. And I was like, no, she can't have him. And then I immediately put him up for sale somewhere else.
I
And
think
then
you did a good thing, though. You can always trust your gut. I think you'll always
yeah, and
know the
I
right
just
decision.
I just didn't think they'd get along. They just didn't. He didn't like her. And then this mother and daughter came all the way from Staffordshire, and they came with like a bag for life full of snacks and treats. Apples, carrots, crunchies, like all sorts. And I was like, sold. He
I'm sure he
absolutely
was thinking
loved.
the same.
He absolutely loved them straight away. They spent ages grooming him and asked loads and loads of questions before they even got on, and it was just a totally different experience. And yeah, we stayed in contact for a while, but then I was like, I need to, and I said I need to like not stay in contact now because I feel sad. but
Yeah.
but like they were absolutely lovely, and I just knew they were the right people for him. But yeah, so I was just kind of working really, and then I had my two girls, and then having two girls, I secretly was like, look at this pony. Aren't ponies nice? And then yeah, they and then we started at a riding school, and my eldest loved it at the riding school, but my youngest is really funny. She's really, really confident. She's way louder than my eldest, but she doesn't like doing anything where anyone's watching her. So even if we had a private lesson, because there'd be other lessons going on, she still thought people were watching her and she felt silly. Um, and so she didn't really enjoy it. And then we took Toby on loan. A friend sent his details to me, and his mum Phoebe was going off to uni, and so we took him on loan. And yeah, it was a bit hairy at first, but then after things settled down, Edie started to go, my youngest started to go, oh, I'd like to ride him now. And now she rides him all the time and has lessons on him. And at our yard as well, there's this amazing Welsh Section A. The lady that owns our yard has got this like unicorn of a pony. She is so pretty. And no one else is small enough to ride her. So my youngest rides her, and then my eldest rides Toby. And it is just like, oh, just it's so lovely watching them ride off together. And yeah, it's gorgeous. And this pony is like, a lot of ponies are really naughty.
Yeah.
Mine were.
Cheeky chappies.
Mine were as a child. I had a Shetland pony, and he was an absolute terror. Um, but she's so well behaved, but she's got enough cheek that she's
Yeah.
teaching Edie something. So like Edie can't just kind of sit there and plod around. However, she does kind of ride with one rein and one hand leaning on the bum as she got hacks. Um, but she's got just enough cheek to teach Edie, but she's so safe and so kind. And yeah, she's lovely. So yeah, it's just
Come full
I just
circle as well. It's
I know, I
great, isn't it?
know. And it really has come full circle because my sister and me shared a pony, and my eldest really looks like my sister, and he's very put together and very smart, like my sister was. And my youngest is feral, like me. When they're at the yard and they're arguing, it annoys me, but then I just think that was just me and my sister. This was just us through and through. Like I never used to do any of the jobs. I was always like just letting her do everything, and then I'd just flit around with my friends. And yeah, that's my two now.
I love seeing it come full circle, and I think it always
Exactly.
it brings you right back to your own days, as you were saying about the ponies. And I think growing up, if you didn't have that experience, I just don't think there's any other way to ride it than you
No.
needed that as a rite of passage to get into horse
Yeah.
riding. Everybody has had that one pony where if you say their name, you're like, it just brings everything right back.
Exactly. I saw a thing on Instagram today, and there was this like terror of a pony like bucking and bucking and bucking and like stopping at fences and throwing this girl over the fence. And um it was clearly like a throwback. She's obviously a very good rider now, but I've not seen any of her stuff like recently. And it was saying like she hated me at the time, but this pony made her the rider that she is today. And someone commented saying that those childhood ponies make you or break you. You'll either never ride again or you're
Yeah,
made of steel.
yeah. I think seeing my mum be a riding instructor, that naturally came with a lot of children's lessons. And
Yeah.
even now, to this day, some of her funniest stories will be the kids that just had that one fall. They got up and went, no, that's it, I'm done. 6 years
Yeah.
old, and they're like, I'm done, that's it.
Yeah.
Do not make me get back on that pony. Whilst others, like I remember I would seek out the little the little cheeky buggers who'd be like, what can I do today? And I thought it was class crack. And they'd be going, oh, who can I have today that's going to spin me around the arena? And you look back and you go, how on earth did I ever think that was a good idea? But at the time, it's, you don't think anything of it. And we were the era where, you just hop on bareback and away you go, lead them down to the field. You've got 3 in this hand, 3 in the other hand. You're sitting on a little pony, you're like jiggling along. Think nothing of it.
I know. I'm surprised we're all still alive. Things were feral, weren't they? Like back then, it was just we used to go out on hacks. Our yard was full of children, and it was absolutely fantastic. We had such a good time, and we would go out on hacks, like 8 of us on a Saturday morning, all just decide to go off for miles as well. And it wasn't that we were somewhere that was all countryside. We had to go on a lot of roads, and we'd ride off for miles. There was always someone crying, always. But we all just carried on. All right, you'll be okay, and we all just carried on. We were absolutely savage.
Yeah, oh, different life business. We were the same. My very first pony was called Rocksteady, and I remember Mum was lunging me in the field because we didn't have an arena, and I must have just kind of slipped off as we learned how to canter. And I remember my bum hadn't even hit the ground, and my mum's like, "You better get back on that pony."
Okay, Mum.
Okay. Couldn't even see with the tears. Everything's burning. So that's how I've learned. Even the point today when I fall off, I'm like, I'm okay. I'm gonna get back on. We're fine.
Yeah. Your legs hanging off, and you're just climbing back on.
Don't you dare fall off.
I know. Honestly, I think like Olive said to me a while ago, my eldest, she said, "Oh, do you know what? Like because I'm always the one that has to ride Toby if he's a bit spicy." And she said, "Oh," and I'm going to touch wood now. You've never fallen off of him, have you? And I said, no. I said, because I think that's because when I was younger, it was just the fear of falling off because no one was nice about it. I said, I said, now we'll all check you're okay. We're at a lovely yard, and there's like, a nice like kitchen and everything, and we've got frozen peas in there, and like I said, we'll put frozen peas on you, and we like make sure you're all okay. I said, not when I was younger, Olive. That's not what happened.
No, you were told to get back on the way you went.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh dear.
It makes us stronger though, and it makes us appreciate the horses that we have now, and even the rider that I am now. I can attribute that 100% to my mum and the ponies that I rode. So we came from a hunting background, so a lot of it was just hang on and hope for the best.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
Literally, and you just don't want to know what's on the other side of the fence. You just close your eyes about 3 strides out and go, the horse he's got to get me over, and it's fine. I don't need to know, just get me over.
I don't like it when you don't know though, and it turns out it's a drop, and then you're like, it's like that. I still don't like roller coasters that do that, and I think that is from cross country.
It is traumatic. So back actually in March, when Lorcan was still coming back from the Ulcers, we had already booked for a hunter trial up in Oma. And at this stage, I was like, "You're not, Lorcan's not going to be okay for this. I'm going to have to withdraw." And my team's partner, so it was a pairs exercise. He was like, "Just take one of my hunters. It's fine. Like, you'll be grand." He gave me a 17-3 hunter.
You're 5 foot.
Yeah, I'm 5 foot. I barely made it past the saddle flaps. I had never ridden him, and he's like, "Do you want to just do meter 10 class?" And I was like, "Why not? We'll just happily do meter 10. Why not?" So he's like, "Do you want to come up on the Thursday before? Just probably sit on him, and we'll go over a few logs." And I was like, "Perfect, happy days, fantastic." It was not logs; it was hedges in his back field because they're all hunters. And the first few, I was like, "Okay, he's got a very big jump." They put me over a meter 60 hedge with about a 3 meter drop behind it. Didn't tell me that's what it was. I saw the end of my life. I remember seeing the end of the buckle in my hands, and I went, I don't think I'm staying on here. Like, I think I'm just going to keep on going over it. There's going to be no hope of me staying on. And he's like, "Yeah, that was fun, wasn't it?" And I was like, "I'm too old for this. Why did I agree to this? This is ridiculous. Who do I think I am? This is ridiculous." And did the hunter trial. The horse stopped at the first fence, and I was like, no, we're not doing this. So I decided to kick him on without turning him. He bunny hopped over the fence, and I fell off in front of everybody. So I made a complete show of myself on white jaws, and I was like, well, there goes the white jaws. Got back on, done the whole round, everything was fine. Coming up over one of the final fences, it was down a hill. He slipped coming into the fence, and we had a rotational fall and had to be withdrawn at that stage. I was the only fall of the day, and there's a few people I just started my Instagram, and a few people kind of knew me or knew of me, and they're like, "Well, how did you get on?" And I was like, "Please tell me you didn't get that on video. Just please tell me you didn't watch that one. We're not going to talk about it."
Oh
The
my
only
gosh.
thing hurt was my ego, but I went, I don't know what I thought was going to happen. So yeah, I've learned my
Oh
lesson. I am definitely not as brave as what I once was.
no, and I think that like those, although like we're laughing about those times when we were younger, I definitely think they've gone, they've passed, and I'm happy to leave them behind. And I'm happy
Yeah,
to now go with what I'm comfortable with, and I'm happy to go with what I enjoy doing, not what frightens the life out of me.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly. I think it's
yeah,
definitely, yeah, as you grow up, it's just you kind of self-preservation kicks in, and you go, I like my life. I don't
yeah.
particularly want to end this too soon,
No,
so
no,
I want to
exactly.
keep enjoying my horses.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, well, I put my back out the other week picking ragwort, so I've got no chance of having a fall on a cross country course and surviving. I tell you, I'm a
We were the
delicate
same.
little thing now.
And what's your plans for this year then? What would you like to do?
Well, actually, to be honest, over the summer we're away quite a bit. So it just this year, to be honest, with Toby, just going to be a lot of going out hacking, and we've just bought a trailer, and we want to do
Lovely.
some. So excited, and we want to do. I say we just bought a trailer. We don't actually have a tow bar yet. That's
That's
a
okay.
whole
That's easy sorted.
That's a whole nother story. There was a tow bar issue with the car. So my lovely, lovely friend, bless her, who's got a lovely Defender, let me get insured on her car. So we have taken the trailer out with the ponies in, but with her car. And now I want her car.
You're
But
like,
yeah,
Poppy, you're
so
giving up golf. We're buying a car. That's it.
yeah, that's it. That's it. So I started small with the trailer. Now I want to buy like a fancy car. But anyway, the yes, so we want to do some like arena hires. I would really, really love to get back into cross country. That was my one day events, and eventing was my thing when I had Alfie. Um, Toby's not quite, you know, at the Alfie phase of life of doing things like that. But I'd like to do some little bits and pieces, and I think that he would enjoy it. So we've got a lovely venue around here that does like arena cross country. So we'd like to kind of start there. But again, we're like I say about like those times, things being different now, we would definitely go and take him in there because when we took him out recently, even walking past cross country jumps, he was like, "Oh my God, what are they?" Like just absolutely terrified. So we will take him in and we'll like walk him around. We'll take him. They've got two cross country arenas. And they've got a minimus one and then a bigger one. And we'll take him into the minimus one and literally like I'll run over fences with him at first if I have to, and like walk him into the water. I don't really care, and we'll just go round and get him comfortable. So yeah, just starting off with things like that with him. Really, Toby's not young. So he's like probably so it's probably 17 now, and but
Oh,
he's just such a genuine little boy, and he's such a good pony for the kids. And yeah, so I just want to kind of start them with doing some fun things like that, really. And probably a bit of
it's
pony club as
fun.
well.
Yeah, it's all about the
Yeah,
fun. I think it's
yeah,
so easy to get lost in always having a bigger goal that you forget it's also about fun, and
yes,
everything
yeah,
should come back to that. Is yeah,
yeah,
did we have fun today? Okay, it might not have been perfect, but like, did you have fun? And that means
yeah.
more than any ribbon, rosette, competition, or placing, I think.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't, my girls aren't so much into doing shows as I was when I was younger. So they'd like to kind of go to like pony club rallies and things like that. And maybe from that, knowing other kids that then go, oh, but we're going to compete at this, then they might kind of want to go, oh, we'll join in. But they just kind of prefer, they love hacking, and he loves hacking as well. And I think that's why they like it, because he's so
Yeah.
relaxed and it's just enjoyable. So I think like doing lots of things like that, I think it's definitely the way forward for him. But yeah, so tell me about like your journey, like when you first got Lorkie, like how long had you had him before he got poorly?
Oh God, it was a whole big journey. So I think when we first bought him, it was actually a funny story. You're going to get the whole thing now. You're getting the life story.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
absolutely. That's what we want. That's fine.
you're getting it all. So
Yeah.
I had actually seen Lorcan on Facebook. Am I allowed to say like who it is and stuff? Like who you're calling
Yeah.
from? Yeah, yeah. So she's called Charlotte and Paddy. They're Kildare sport horses down in County Kildare, but she's actually English.
Hmm.
And I'd seen Lorcan on her Facebook, and I went, "Oh, he's lovely," and scrolled on and thought, "He's not for me." And then I came back to him that night, and I went, "He's really handsome. Oh, I don't know what to
Yes.
do." And so I reached out to Charlotte, and I went, "Look, Charlotte, lovely to meet you. I think Lorcan's gorgeous." There were so many comments on Lorcan's post, and I went, I'm assuming he's not available, but on the off chance that he is, I would love to arrange a viewing. And she went, "Oh yeah, that's perfect. I can do Monday to Friday." And I went, "I live like 2.5 hours away from you, and I start a new job on Monday. Is there any chance I could come on Sunday?" And she's like, I don't normally do this, but would you like to come down on Sunday? Normally we would say no. And I went, "Yes, I would really, really appreciate that, please, and thank you." So I came down and seen Lorcan, and you know what you were saying, like we gave him a little groom, and we brought a bag full of treats, and he got loads and loads of fuss over. And I watched Charlotte ride him, and that was her first time. She said, "I don't normally do a Sunday because I don't have a rider, and I don't like me being the showcase of the horse because I don't think I
Yeah.
can do it justice." She's a lovely rider, by the way. She's a dressage rider. She's fantastic. And I watched Lorcan go round, and I was like, "Really nice." And I got on him, and that was it. I was like, "I'm just gonna ride home. I'm not gonna put him in the trailer. I'm just gonna ride him 3 hours home." He was just such a sweetheart. And you know when I just knew in my gut that this was meant to be.
Yeah.
And I remember saying to my mum that he had so much to teach me as much as I have to teach him, just about
Yeah.
life. I think we were going to teach each other a lot.
Yeah.
And Charlotte had said the only thing about him is he's really funny to mount. And I went, "Oh, do you know what? He's literally just turned 5. I know he's just been broken, so maybe it's just a bit of a bad start in his life. Like we can redo that. That's fine."
Hmm.
So I came down the next day. I'd started my new job on the Monday, and Monday night I came down and collected Lorcan, and I was like, "This is us. This is the new journey." And over the next month, he progressively got worse in mounting rather than better, and I had started to question what was going on. So we stripped
Yeah.
right back to the basics, and I went, "We're just going to basically re-break it. We're just going to start from scratch." So I gave him 2 weeks off and decided to bring him back in. But again, the problems persisted. And at this stage, we'd had the vet out, the physio out, the saddle fitter out, the dentist out, and everyone said, "No, he's fine. He's just turned 5. We've got no concerns. It's probably just a bad breaking experience." And he has a few little scars on his body that would suggest previous trauma. Again, I
Oh.
can't say for sure, but where the scars are, he's got marks around what would be as if he was maybe shackled. Um,
Oh
like
no.
yeah, like a few like indicative scars that aren't "I got hurt in the field" scars. But again, I can't accuse previous owners of that because I don't
No.
know his story.
No.
So anyway, he's not very trusting on a good day. So we thought maybe previous trauma, bad breaking experience. That's it. We'll just have to work with it. And it kind of slowly got better. So I thought, okay, we're on to something. And just before Christmas, he didn't look quite right one day. And I can't explain it because there was nothing to say there was something wrong. I just knew something wasn't right. And I
Yeah.
remember saying to the yard owner, "Hey, I just something's not right with Lorcan. Will you just keep an eye on him over the course of today? And when I come back tonight, I'll evaluate." And by the time we came back, he still hadn't piddled, he hadn't pooped, but he was still eating and drinking. I was like, "What is wrong with you?" He wasn't rolling, wasn't looking at his side. You know, at this stage, he was still a fat little pudding. We're just coming up to Christmas. He's been
Mm.
in the arena. He was jumping well. And it was going pretty well. I
Yeah.
phoned the vet, and it was the weekend. And I had said, "Look, I'm more than happy to bring him over. It's no problem, but I'm a little bit, just something's not right. He hasn't paid, and it's really concerning me." And the vet had said, "Leave it to Monday morning. If he's still not better on Monday, bring him in." And fast forward, yeah, he wasn't any better. He still hadn't piddled. Brought him in, and it turns out he was colicking. Thankfully, he didn't need surgery, but the vets had kept him in overnight, and they'd said something's not sitting right with him with his belly. We're going to go and scope the next day. And when they asked me about unusual symptoms, this is kind of where my Instagram took off, where I've tried to advocate for horses with ulcers don't always have symptoms.
Yeah.
Because they went, is he losing weight? And I went, you've just told me he's fat, so no. Is his performance poor? No. And they're like, is he funny grooming? And I went, not really. Up until this week, we noticed a few little things where he was just a little bit funny on his belly. But up until that point, there was nothing to suggest there was maybe an ulcer problem. And it turns out he had grade 4 squamous ulcers on his marble potatoes that were that bad. It kind of looked like a mountain range of just craters in his tummy. And I remember feeling so guilty, going, how did I not know? How did he not show any symptoms? So I think I felt worse knowing that I contributed to that and didn't know or didn't help him sooner. And now looking back, now that he's fixed, he's found him out. So that was the first sign all that time ago that he was trying to tell us something wasn't right. But we all chalked it up to the usual E5, trauma, bad breathing experience. And when he did settle, we didn't really think anything of it. So it has been a long journey and a lot of management changes. So we've had to change his feed, change him from haylage to hay. He turned out as much as possible during the winter, but 24/7 in the summer. We had to basically give him 4 months off work. So that has been a long process, rehabbing him back into work the last 3 months.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest changes, although we always had access to hay before a ride, was being a little bit more strict with that and saying, no, I want you to eat hay. So I want to see you eating it, not I have offered it.
Yeah.
And if I didn't see him eat, I didn't ride him. That was it.
Yeah.
And he seemed to do quite well. So that was in just before Christmas. We re-scoped him the end of January, and the vet had said, don't be surprised, it's still grade 4, just maybe not as bad.
Yeah.
And it was a grade 2. So we had miraculously went from like a grade 4 to a grade 2. And I remember being like, I know I'm doing things right. And it was the 4 o'clock in the morning start to try and get a Peprazole into him. He was on sucralfate twice a day. We had to try and manage all of his medication.
Yeah.
And again, they said, just stick with what you're at, and in another 4 weeks, we'll rescope. And this should just be the final one to say that you're clear. In that time was our awful rain where it flooded, and we had no turnout. So our field, everything was gone. As it up to the fence post was just in water. And we had a bit of a turnout arena in like an all-weather pen in our yard. And he got a bit of mud fever from there. So the vets had said, keep him in, you should be okay, just offer him the ad lib hay. And they had tried to give me bute, and I had originally said, I'm not really happy about this. He's obviously recovering from ulcers. And they said, don't wrap him in cotton wool. He'll be fine. He's on medication. So you kind of go, well, the vet's no better than I do. Maybe I am wrapping him in cotton wool. He's my baby. Maybe I'm being too soft. So I gave him the bute, and his ulcers got worse. And we ended up with bleeding pockets in his stomach again. So I remember looking at the vet kind of going, I told you this is going to happen.
Yeah.
It was one of those moments where I thought, I wish I had trusted my gut.
Yeah.
And not only that, we're about £10,000 in on treatment at this stage. So I'm really wishing I trusted my gut.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, for the sake of you, like, really. So we were on another course of Peprazole, another course of sucralfate. So this was like 4 months down the line, and another 4 weeks we went to scope again. So we get to the yard where the vets are at, and I knock on the door and I'm like, hi, we're here for Lorcan. And they're like, yeah, no problem. If you just offload him and bring him into his little stable, you know where you're going, do it yourself. As I offloaded him, he's now been off work for 4 months, springs in the air. He bolted off the trailer and broke the head collar. He's flying around the yard. I can't stop him. And I just remember the vet, he is Greek, so his English wouldn't be the best. And he's like, oh, Norky happy, no ulcers, Norky happy. I was like, bloody little shit, he is happy. I was like, Lorcan, get back here. He's flying around the field. And I was like, oh, yes, Georgia's Norky happy. So that was when we got the all clear, and the vet had said there's not even scar tissue.
Wow.
So it's been a big journey, and I think
Mm.
part of it, which is a little bit unconventional, but I think there's a lot of success to be attributed to it, is homeopathy for horses.
Yep.
And I don't know if you know a lot about it.
Do you know what? I don't know. I've seen a homeopath before, but I've never ever used one for my horses. But I also I do like equine Reiki as well. So I
No
like
way.
really kind of believe in like complementary therapies. So
Yes.
yeah,
So that's
definitely.
how it all started with us. So we had the Reiki master out, and
Yeah.
she had said, "Oh, have you ever heard of homeopathy for horses?" And I went, "I didn't even realise that was a thing." And she
Mm.
gave me the name of a woman, and she said, "Look, she's agricultural only. She doesn't do humans, and if farmers are parting with their hard-earned cash to feed,
Yeah.
like to help their cows or their sheep or their pigs," she went, "you can best be assured she's good."
Yeah.
And I thought,
Yeah.
yeah, well, yeah. I mean, especially around our area, the farmers are tight with their money. Those purse strings don't move. And if they're moving for tinctures, then it has to mean something.
Yeah.
So I remember I was kind of going about my day going, oh, I just wanted a miracle for Lorcan. And I'm not religious, but I just remember going, I just want a miracle that he's going to be okay. And
Yeah.
when I phoned the homeopathy lady, the first thing she said is, "Did you know homeopathy is miraculous?" And I remember being like, "The voice I
Oh
was
my
thinking of, oh my God." It's kind of like, have you been listening to me?
God. That's so cool.
So she explained the process, came out, had like a little look at Lorcan, and she prescribed us a tincture that goes into his water. We don't have water drinkers, just buckets. We're plain old school that way. And it just goes into his water twice a day, and that's it. And it's basically, I don't know everything that's in it, but it's aloe vera, slippery elm, and marshmallow root would be the three key factors in our original tinctures.
Right.
And it's all direct from source. So instead of having all of those powders that go into your food,
Yeah.
it's direct, like a liquid.
Yeah.
And I think it's helped Lorcan. Again, I am not one to say don't use veterinary products, because we did use Peptazole, we did use Sucralfate, but in conjunction with, I think it
Of
has
course,
been,
there's a reason they're called complementary therapies, and
yeah,
like that's what I say about the Reiki. It does not, if your horse has got a cut leg, giving it Reiki isn't gonna like stitch the leg off. Um, but it's going to help the horse to heal by
yeah,
helping their nervous system. And if you feel good, you can kind of your body can do its job. Um,
exactly,
so
exactly.
yeah,
So I think
definitely.
there's been a lot to say for the tinctures, which we're still on now. And that's then what kind of drove our journey into the feed that we're on now. So we've recently transitioned to finer forage, and
Right.
I've seen another girl on Instagram called Kitty Juggins, and she had a horse called Henry.
Yeah.
He's a big warm blood sport horse type horse, and he was quite a poor doer. Again, he had ulcers, so I that's why I originally followed her journey. And she'd been on finer forage for a year. And I went, well, if Henry's had ulcers, he's looking amazing. Like
Yeah.
he's a picture of health after everything that was wrong with him. It must it'd be good to try. So I reached out to Nia and I had said the same story that I just told you. Lorcan had
Yeah.
ulcers. This is the whole big 4 month long story that we're in. The vet had recommended certain feeds for us, but I wasn't really happy with it. It's all that mainstream high sugar, high starch, even when it's not. That was
Yeah.
just it wasn't great, but I was scared to change because it was working. So it was
Yeah.
kind of between a rock and hard place. And reached out to them. They gave me the most detailed breakdown of everything you could possibly think of that went in food, to the point where I went, could you do this for me? can you
Wow.
can you just apply this to my body?
Yeah.
I think I need this. I will eat Lorcan's tea bags at this stage because this is amazing. And everything again is very much the herbal route. So
Yeah.
we're on like a grass pellet that has nettle leaves in it. There is a lot of mint, chamomile, and rosemary. So
Yep.
it's a lot of herbal roots. So again, it's no additives, no sugars, no soya, no hormones, no nothing. And already we're starting to see the difference in Lorcan's temperament. He's starting to get a spark back for the first time. So
Oh, that's
yeah,
magical.
it's a little cheeky eyes coming back. So I know I'm in for a fun ride this winter.
Excellent. Oh, bless him. Well done, though. That's amazing. Like you've worked so hard to get him back, and you were definitely meant to be his mum, weren't you?
Oh, I think it's I wouldn't have it any other way. And
No.
so my mum, she's done a bit of a 360. So she went from being the riding instructor her whole life, broke her back one too many times, and on the last breaking of said back, she went, "No, I'm done. Like I'm out of instructing full time."
Yeah.
And she has always done card readings and decided to go into that full time. That was 15
Hmm.
years ago. And
Yeah.
she now helps the PSNI, the Met Police, basically with missing cases and stuff. So for anyone that gets a private reading with her, she has a little, like a gift tag for like Christmas where you would write like two, like, I don't know, two Katies from Maddie. She has one of those and she has a little saying on it. So she writes them out. And in Northern Ireland, we would say the saying, "So it is." So you go, "Oh, like it's sunny outside, so it is." So she finishes off everyone with "So it is." And she puts it in an envelope, it's in a box, and she writes maybe 300 or 400 a week. So, it's random, as in you don't know what you're going
Yeah.
to pick.
Yeah.
And me and Mum were walking around the field one day, and I said, "Mum, do you ever just get the feeling like, does Lorcan love me? Like, I love
Yeah.
him, but does he love me?"
Yeah.
And we thought not. And she kind of was like, "Of course." I was like, "Wise up, you're being silly." And we went back inside, and she's like, "Do you want to know what it is?" And I was like, "You know what? Yeah, I haven't picked one in a while. Sure."
Yeah.
I opened it up, and it was, "I'm lucky you're mine." I
My
know, I'm gonna
God.
cry now even saying that, but it was so lovely. And I remember being like, "Oh my goodness, like he loves me." Like he's
Oh.
so happy. I'm gonna cry now. But
Oh, that is just the best.
yeah, I know it doesn't
Honestly.
maybe mean everything to everybody, but in that moment in time, I just remember going, "Does Lorcan know everything I've done for him to make sure that he's
Mm,
happy and
mm,
he's free of trauma and somewhere that he's
mm.
loved?" And that's what she
Oh,
wants,
that is
yeah.
so beautiful. I just think that's all we want, isn't it? To know, for them to know how much we love them and that we would do anything for them,
Yeah,
and that they can trust us, and that through thick and thin we've got their best interests at heart. And yeah,
exactly.
and that's
They,
it.
yeah, living their
And
best lives, and that's all you can ask for them. That he is happy and that he knows he's safe and he can be a horse. That's the most important thing. That he
yeah,
can fart about the field and be a horse. He doesn't have to feel that he can't express himself. And
no,
that's exactly who he is, a cheeky little choppy that follows you about the field and he'll stand between you and the wheelbarrow and he's like, "I want to scratch." And once he's finished on that side of the scratch, he'll reverse and come back in to get the other side done, to be like, "No,
yeah.
no, no, I need the other side done now, Mum." So he's
Oh.
very opinionated.
But
He knows what he loves.
it's so lovely when they can communicate with you, like and do that, because you just think, yeah, okay, I will scratch you. I'm I'm literally going. I've told my husband I'll be 1 hour at this yard, but I'm going to be three, so I may as well spend it scratching you where you need to be scratched. But
Exactly.
it's just so lovely when you feel like they trust you, and it's such a privilege, isn't it?
I think even like watching people on social media, um, something not everybody talks about is the level of trust you have in your horse.
Mm,
Especially for me being in a hunting environment. As I said, like I used to close my eyes and just hope to God the horse got me over it.
yeah,
Whereas now with Lorcan, I just know he'll be okay and I'll be okay. He will
yeah,
protect me at all costs.
yeah,
And we've had a few hairy moments where we have had a few jumps and I'm going, "Oh dear."
yeah,
And he will protect me. Or, we have a lot of forests back home and some of the trees have fallen down from the recent storms we've had. So you're kind of like lying on his neck and coming back up. And I just know he'll be okay. I know that he
yeah.
won't buck, rear, bolt, drop the
No,
shoulder. I know he won't hurt me.
no.
And I think it's a nice moment when you know that you have that 100% trust in
Yeah.
your horse.
And definitely. And I think like it's so nice when they also feel like they have that trust in you. Something that I never ever did when I was younger and I do regularly now is dismount. So when I was younger, it was like, do not get off that horse. If it's spooking
Yeah.
and freaking out, there's a bus coming, and we rode it on the roads a lot. Um, like, do not get off that horse, and that's what I was taught. But since we've had Toby, sometimes if he's frightened of something, which isn't very often because he's very good with hacking, but if he is frightened with about something, I'll just get off and I'll put myself between him and the thing. And as soon as I put myself between him and the thing, he just goes, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And
He
I'm
knows
like,
he
it's
can trust
fine.
you.
It's fine. And that's what I was saying about like going to the little mini cross country arena. It has got to be mini if I'm going to be jumping the jumps. But I will happily like run along with him and jump over a jump and say, like, it's okay. Because I do
Yeah.
genuinely think all he needs to be shown is it's all right. And as soon
Yeah.
as he knows it is, he'll just, he'll enjoy it. And I
I
just
think
want
there's a
him to,
lot to be said
yeah,
for that, definitely. As you said, I think it's showing them that you do it as well,
yeah,
which is
yeah.
the biggest thing. So like with Lorcan too, when we first got him, we think there was trauma, and he didn't like being clipped. So we discovered, we only bought him last year, last winter, he did not like being clipped to the point where we had to sedate him. He's a big,
Mm,
thick Irish drab coat, so we had no choice but to clip him. He was
mm,
sweating off.
mm,
So I had said, no, I don't want to be sedating him. There's bound to be something we can do to help him. And through a lot of time, a lot of patience, and even more patience and more crying for when things didn't go right, I could now sit underneath him. Literally, I could sit underneath his belly and clip his legs.
that's amazing.
It goes to show that he doesn't care. He's sitting eating hay off the floor.
Yeah.
He actually, I clipped his legs the other day just to tidy them up for the summer, and as I was clipping one leg, there was a fly landed on the other one. And he went to lift the leg just to be like, get off me, fly. Knew that I was beside him, and he knew he couldn't lift that leg to get the fly off because it might have hurt me. So he's very, very aware, but to the
That's
point
so,
where no head collar, no lead rope, he's just stood chilling.
yeah.
One wee hoof just propped up like this, and I'm clipping away at his legs. And I'm like, Lorcan, I'm doing a horrendous job, pet. Thank God you can't see. But thanks for
Yeah.
trusting me. So it goes to
But
show if
but
they see you, it's okay.
what you've given him is the time, and I think that is something that doesn't often get given, and doesn't get appreciated, that sometimes it's just the time. I've got a friend that's going through the same thing with clipping her horse at the moment, and we've used Reiki. So she used to have to be sedated, but she needs her legs clipped about every 2 to 3 weeks because she's a cob and she's got CPL, and her fur grows quickly, and then there's malanders and salanders, and there's all sorts of problems. And she just didn't want to sedate her that often, and she was showing signs that she didn't want to be sedated. So she said, I don't want to do this to her, I want to do something different. So we used Reiki, and literally the first time that the clipping lady came, she just stood there. She was absolutely amazing. She'll lift a leg when she knows there's a sore bit,
Yeah,
but that's completely understandable. But uh, this woman is now like spending time with her in her stable, like every single day, just like running them over her, and has looked into all different ways of doing it, and then like doing little bits on her legs. And like you say, sometimes they don't look the best because she can't get a whole thing done. But it is what it is. She's giving her so much time and so much care and effort, and you can see her now when she is doing it, her whole demeanor is just so much more relaxed, and it is just lovely. And yeah, I think like 2 3 months time she'll just be completely clipping her legs, just like, without even a thought. But it's just the kind of those small, I'm always saying this about the confidence thing, it's the small steps regularly
yeah,
that get you there, not the big
exactly.
leaps, you know.
Exactly. And I think
Yeah,
this comes back to the full circle conversation we had with what we were like when we were younger. Because a
yeah,
lot of this wasn't talked about. It was
no,
if a pony's being bad, it's because it was naughty. It's not because
yeah,
something's wrong with it.
yeah,
Where Lorcan's concerned, I guarantee if he was in any other Irish hunting home, it would have been the twitch was on him and he would have been told to stand. There would have
yeah,
been no option
yeah,
in that.
yeah,
And it would have been, he's just being a wee shit. And he's
yeah,
not, he's scared, he's frightened, he just needed
yeah,
time.
yeah,
And I think now as a society and as a sport, even like the bridleless competitions with horse and country, it's amazing to see how we're finally taking those positive steps forward
Yeah.
where even like bits. I remember talking about this recently with somebody else. I have an Astor bit. I don't know if
Mm.
you've heard of the brand.
No.
So they're fantastic. By the way, I'm not sponsored with anybody, so just I just like
Oh,
all these
oh,
brands.
we wish, hey.
And so after bits, they are made from a bit specialist. So everything is about how it can benefit the horse and not maximize the output from the rider.
That's amazing.
Um, and we have a double washer bit. So there's like a little lozenge in the middle now,
Mm.
and it's like a hanging cheek. So there's no leverage, reduces pull pressure, and allows him. It sits a little bit higher in his mouth. So because he's an Irish draft, he's got a big mouth and a big palate. That it sits higher where it needs to be, and not drooping down and having
Yeah.
a nutcracker action. But if we went into any other normal tack shop, you're going to see your Dutch Gags, your Pelhams, your Waterfords, even like worse bits that people shouldn't have in the first place. So
Yeah.
it's great to see that we are now coming that full circle where we can appreciate that we don't need a harsher bit. We just need to learn to
Yeah.
ride. We need to ride
Yeah.
better and
Yeah.
be a better horsewoman, horseman, horse person, whatever way you want to look at it. We need to be better, not the horses. And I think
Yeah.
that's the biggest message I could have for anybody, especially with a tricky horse like Lorcan. We need to be better for them. They don't need to be better for us. They don't know us
Def
anything.
yeah, definitely. I think when I was younger, it was all about more tack. If there was
Yeah.
a problem, more tack,
Mm-hmm.
more tack. And now it feels like it's about less tack. And I love that. You know, sometimes when we hack, Toby has a martingale on, but it's really because we don't own a neck strap. And if
We're
Edie,
the same. We just want like a Jesus strap, we call it, or an oh no strap. You
yeah,
just want something to hold on to.
exactly, because I
Yeah.
don't own a neck strap and I own a martingale, so that's what's going on. But it's only like if Edie, like the little one, loses her balance at all. I mean, I don't think she's ever grabbed onto it, but just in case. But when we're at home, I just take it off. And when we first got him, um, he really, really was not listening at all, and he was actively defiant because he was a bit like, what are you doing? I think we were all just confused. We were all very, very confused. And we put him into a grackle, and then he kind of like, we got back control of him, and then I immediately removed it.
Yeah.
And now he's just back into a normal Cavison noseband. And like we don't need it, so it's not going on, and that's the end of it. But yeah, when I was younger, it was just like, oh, you're having a problem, nip down the tack shop and buy something stronger. Oh,
Yeah.
no, thank you.
It's great
But
to
yeah,
see that's not the case anymore, and we're finally having an attitude of things can be okay.
definitely,
Which I
definitely.
think has been a fantastic like a shift in perspective.
Yeah,
Even with us, I have only ever ridden Lorcan in a noseband and a flash. He can be
yeah,
very strong at
yeah,
times. We found out last year that he doesn't like wind. And we were at an arena hire for what should have been, they had like an arena event on the day before, and I went down and hired it after because he's not there yet for going to a competition. He's not, so we're not
no,
competing. And I was like, we'll go and do the arena hire. And it was a wee bit windy and a bit rainy, and I thought he should be okay.
yeah,
He should be fine. And Lorcan was not fine. Lorcan did not stop for 20 minutes. He bolted because of the wind. We broke the arena fence, and I
oh
have
no,
not come back. I apologized profusely and was like, I will pay for the damages. I am so sorry. He's never done this. If I thought he was going to do this, I never would have taken him. I am
no,
so sorry. So I have not shoved my face back there on the sheer embarrassment of what happened.
yeah,
So after that, as much as I love him and trust him, we have a flat strap on very loosely because for his
yeah,
own safety, that
yeah,
can't happen.
yeah.
And for
Someone's
my
going to get
safety,
hurt at that point.
yeah. So he's just got his normal Cavison noseband and a flash strap. But saying that now that we're coming out of the ulcers and he's rehabbing back into work, we've had him in an open field with other horses galloping, and he's very much on voice command. So with all the lunging and groundwork we were doing with his ulcers, I have been an advocate for my voice because I need to know I can stop without needing to pull the reins.
Yeah.
So we can stop in an open field. It's absolutely fantastic. But
That's amazing.
he knows his weight. He knows he's a big boy,
Yeah.
and he knows that my 60 kilos versus his 650 means nothing when
No.
he decides he's going to go skitting off.
Yeah.
So until he's a wee bit older and he sorts his head out, and that unknown
Yeah.
piece, he I think will keep the flash. But same as you, very much an advocate for less tack is more.
Yeah.
Or even just in how we ride, we don't do a lot of jumping to drill him. I'm a believer of pull work instead, because if we can't
Yeah.
get it right at pulls, there's no requirement to be jumping. Now we have had fun. Again, it comes back to fun. There's days where I go, you know what, we're just going to go cross country for fun. It's not about
Yeah.
schooling. It's not about anything other than we both just want to have a nice time jumping. But
Yeah.
generally, we will use a lot of pull work. So I think
Oh,
I'm a
that's
firm believer in giving them that education to the point where we don't need a flat strap in the arena,
yeah.
because he's now listening to my vocal aids, he's listening to my body, to those subtle cues that you don't need to be. I don't saw a horse's mouth. We're not here to
No.
fix them into a position. So he's now learning to seek that contact where it's me saying, I'm not going to hold you, Lorcan. You need to support yourself. Let's figure it
Yes.
out. And the only
Yes.
way to do it for me is pull work, pull work, pull work. So he's
Yeah.
getting a lot of that. And it's definitely helping, where he's learning to carry himself, and he's actively looking for the poles, actively looking for where he's putting his feet. So I think he's lost essentially his 5th year of life. And it's something I say a lot on my Instagram, and people are probably sick of hearing it. They're like, yeah, Maddie, you've told me this about 50 times, stop saying it. But he had ulcers essentially from a 5-year-old, and he's coming 6 now in July. So we've lost
Yeah.
that entire 5th year. So he's a 6-year-old boy with a 4-year-old brain. He's
Yeah.
not had an education.
Yeah.
So
The
we have
fifth
to
year is
remember
quite
that.
a big year, isn't it? Really.
Yeah. And
So
we've lost it. So we're only hitting the weird 5-year-old stage now, where he's
yeah.
figuring out, well, I can have my head like a giraffe and there's nothing you can do about it. I don't want to work today because that
No.
doesn't sound like fun, Mum. I'll go
No.
out back it though, but I don't want to be in an arena. That
Yeah.
full work looks hard. So we're at that age where he's kind of like, do I have to? And when you tell him, yeah, Lorky, this is kind of life fun, he will eventually be like, oh right, okay, like I'll work. But we're at that age. I think I've missed the 5-year-olds and it's only hitting now, so we're in for a questionable few months.
Oh, bless him. It's just so funny when they like get opinionated as well, though, isn't it? And you're just like, no, we are doing this today, because sometimes they do just need to listen, and they can have an opinion, but you can also have one. And you're like, no.
Even in his food, but then so he's because of the ulcers, my fear was always ad lib hay, so always feed, and I wasn't weighing out my hay, and we ended
Yeah.
up on a very short few. The bales were really short, and he was gorging on them.
Yeah.
I didn't weigh it out, and he was getting more and more hay on spring grass with his feed, and he put on almost 100 kilos in 6 weeks. He was a chunky boy. So
Oh
we're
my
on what we
gosh.
call the chub club now. So we're on a bit of
Oh,
an ulcer friendly diet. So he's still got ad lib hay, and he still graze, just not to the extent that he was. And as part of that, he's now on reduced hard food.
oh,
And the
bless
first
him.
meal that he got, exactly, bless him, the first meal that he got, which was reduced, I set it down in front of him, and I could see the mads going on in his brain, where he's like, ah, what do you call this? There was nothing in that. And he took a hop, stamped the foot down like this, and knocked the food over. And I was like, well, more the food, you, because you're not getting another one, so you're going to eat that off the ground for all I care, Lorcan. But he huffed, sulked away, and normally, he's in the field and he wants his cuddles from mummy, and he wants a wee scratch, and he'll be all up in your space. He went and stood
Yeah.
at the other end of the field and looked at me like, I can't believe you did that to me.
Oh
How
my
dare you
gosh.
do this to me? Oh, he's so opinionated. When he
If
wants
he
something,
if those hooves could phone the RSPCA.
he would be telling them he's starved, he's abused, he only gets 3 meals a day.
Oh my gosh, that poor animal. Oh, it's just so sad. Just so sad. Oh, it's just like so funny when they get in a huff, isn't it? Oh dear. So the the others in our barn were about to go out the other day, so they gave Toby a little round lick, you know, the horse licks ones, and he obviously didn't want it, and they put it in for him just to say, oh, like we just got that going to be in the school, so just because you'll be the only horse in the barn, there you go, you can have this, and put it in for him, and he immediately just picked it up and threw it back out over the door. I
Such an
was like, oh,
attitude
I'm
sometimes,
very
don't
sorry. You treat him like they're your son, don't you? I was like, I'm sorry, it was so rude.
yeah, we are exactly the same. When you have words with them, you're like, don't you dare. Don't
Oh,
you
don't
embarrass me like
embarrass me, Toby. They were being so kind. Gosh,
that.
thinking of you and you're lonesome. Oh dear, bless
The
him.
things we do for them, they are
Oh,
our children and they're definitely
they
part of the
are.
family, but they're wee characters. I think
They
they show
are.
so much on their faces when you get to know them as well. And you're like, I
Yeah.
know exactly what you're thinking, and I
No.
don't even need to like read your mind to see what that is. He's so funny. Or even like in our trailer, we have the before trailer camera, and I just like having it to know that he's okay.
Yeah.
Because again, he went with the ulcers. He went through a phase after the vet. I think he associated the trailer with going back to get a scope.
Yeah.
And he started kicking in the trailer, and I was like, "We're not having
Right.
this." So we went back to the groundwork. Trailer's a lovely place, Lorcan. Look at this. Like trailers are a happy place.
Yeah.
And so we got the camera just to make sure he was fine and wasn't doing anything stupid that we would have to pull over. So he doesn't know or hasn't twigged that the camera means we can see him. And so the way he eats is like he'll like open his mouth really wide and like grab the henna like this and gorge, like try to get as much as possible. But whenever we're in the trailer with him, like the little teeth will be all dainty and he'd be like, "You don't know I can see you," eating
Yeah.
like the biblical greed that is whatever that is.
Oh
He's
my
a,
gosh.
honestly, he's a character and he loves looking out. So he loves cows. He's not so sure on sheep. But like when we're in the trailer, he'll look out, you know, he's looking all around him and he's whinnying away and he'll like kind of do this sometimes when he's had enough. And it's funny seeing him have that conversation with himself because he doesn't know the
Yeah.
camera's there. So he doesn't know I can see him.
Yeah.
Just he has this wee conversation with himself. It's funny, like it really is. You're like, this is
Oh,
who you are when nobody's around.
yeah.
Very sweet.
They're just such funny little characters with us in the trailer. Um, Toby, uh, his owner said, sometimes he goes in, sometimes he doesn't. And when we've taken him out in other trailers before we got our one, um, sometimes he is loaded and sometimes not at all. He's just like, I'm not going in there. But it didn't give you kind of like fear vibes. It was just a bit more like, no, I'm not going home. And that was it. And I was
I
like,
do this today.
oh my God. And it was kind of worse because I thought, I actually don't know what to do now because you just won't go in, and that's the end of it, just refusing. So when we got the trailer, I was like, right, I cannot go out thinking I might not be able to get home again. So I need to work on this. So I looked up lots of different ways to load them and lots of different options, and then I found one, and I just thought, this is just Toby to a T. Toby hates with a vengeance a 10-meter circle so much. And they said very, very calmly, walk him up to the trailer. If he doesn't go into the trailer, back him off and then walk 10-meter circles and then come back to the trailer again. Walk 10-meter circles till you get a bit of a vibe that they've had enough of 10-meter circles.
Yeah.
And then just go back to the trailer again. And then if it doesn't work, you can up the energy on the 10-meter circles if you want. But, and then take him back about 3 10-meter circles. Toby was straight in that train
It goes
and
to
then
show
just
they
stood
are
there
so opinionated.
like, well, okay, then fine. We're doing this then, are we? Just and it just worked like that, just immediately. And it was just so funny because they said like, make the trailer the kind of happy space of rest.
Yeah.
which I totally understood. And then like, oh no, if you decide not to go in, then we're going to do some work. But if you decide to go in, you can just stand and chill. So that's Toby's vibe. He likes to stand and chill. So I was like, yeah, we'll do that. So yeah, 3 10 meter circles, in he went, and yeah, never a problem.
It's not so funny. At least you know what to choose. You knew what was
Yeah,
better for him anyway. He's a
yeah,
spoiled
exactly.
boy.
Exactly. Because no amount of like snacks or treats or anything when he decides not to load are going to get him into that trailer. He likes his food, but he's not massively food orientated. So yeah, that's not going to work. But yeah, a 10 meter circle every time.
It goes to show though, at least you know him and you know him well enough
Yeah,
to know that he's not scared, he's okay. This is just
yeah,
him having an
yeah,
opinion on that given day and you
yeah.
know what works for him. Just take the hand, you
Exactly.
make it think that it's their opinion, then you might get somewhere with
100%, 100%. Oh, dude, they're so funny, aren't they? But honestly, it's just been so nice hearing all about Lorkie. It's just, oh, he's so lovely. I wish you were closer. I want to go and give him a hug.
trust me, he pulls the heartstrings on enough people.
Oh, dear.
He's had a hard life, God love him, but he is. He's a special boy and he's so young and he's got so much to give. So I can't wait to see where we go now when he is
Yeah,
that bit older and he's had a chance to actually live his life and see what you know what he wants to do and how
yeah,
he forms into the adult horse that I know he's going to be. But he's in safe
yeah.
hands. He's a good boy. He's happy. He's healthy. And our next goal is we're saving for our own land. So hopefully in the next couple of months or yeah, even in the next couple, I would like to say a couple of months. We're being very positive here with that. But it'd be nice to give him his own home and to
That would be
learn where to go.
amazing. Oh, that's the
Yeah.
dream, isn't it? Oh, how lovely. That's so lovely. And he's such a lucky boy. He was definitely meant to be your baby, wasn't he?
Oh, he is. I couldn't imagine him going to anybody else, and I couldn't imagine having any other horse. He really is just a wee character, and you know, like I have him. I would say he thinks I'm wrapped around his little hoof, and I know that I am. He knows it as well, but he's my boy, and
Yeah,
he's gonna have a life that I don't think he ever could have had anywhere
yeah,
else, and he's gonna
yeah.
have a chance to thrive. And I just can't wait to see what that looks like and bring all of you lovely people along on that journey now with our little Instagram and we'll
Oh,
see what we get up to. So
oh, that's so
it's
exciting. I'll
lovely.
definitely keep watching and yeah, definitely keep following your journey. It's so lovely. So, what's your Instagram handle, just in case anyone?
I am life on the wrong stride. And there's a little bit of a running joke that we haven't found the right stride yet. So that's what we're looking for. My poor
Love
mother's
it.
always like, wrong stride, wrong stride. So eventually we might get out of the shell and that we finally got the right stride.
Oh, that's awesome. That's so nice. So, yes, we'll definitely be following you along and keeping an eye on him and his. I mean, I know he's recovered, but it's like a long road, isn't it? Like you say, he's kind of
Yeah.
four slash,
Four's
so,
coming 50 in his little head, but
oh, bless him.
his formative years, his formative, can't even talk about that late at night. His formative years. So he's definitely on the learning curve, and I think my enjoyment on Instagram is taking everybody along with us from an educational perspective. A lot of
Yeah,
people like to say, "Oh, we did this or we did that," but I try to give people that little bit of an education, given that that's what my mum did with me my whole life. If I could have one person that maybe is going through a similar struggle to me with a young horse and not really knowing what to do, and maybe not having the confidence to speak out or get the help that they need, hopefully my account can give them the motivation and help to understand what they're doing and ask themselves why. That might be the step in the right direction for somebody.
that is very cool. That is so nice. And I said to my husband today, actually, because he came in and said, oh, he'd found a little bit of tech that might help me in my business. And I said to him, I just think it's absolutely amazing that there are all these free resources now that
Yeah,
like a lot of the things that we're recording this on Teams and that is I pay for it, but it's very, very cheap. And like
yeah,
and you obviously you're spending your time putting things on Instagram, but to the people watching, it's completely free, and then it's educating other people and helping them along their journey. And I just think it's absolutely amazing that we've got these resources now, and I think that's why things are moving on so quickly in the world of people, with their kind of horsey education and finding out different ways of doing things, because those things are kind of shown to us, aren't they? Like once
Yeah.
with like the algorithm, once you like one sort of type of thing, it shows you more and more, and you're like, oh, this actually might be possible. This is amazing.
It's fantastic to even think back. I remember having mum used to take me into our local spar, like a little local filling station, and they had the Horse and Rider magazine and Horse and Hound. And I would
Yeah,
go in, and that's what I wanted to read. And you'd have to pay, I think it was £1.50 or £1.99. And you would come home and you'd be flicking through it and
yeah,
turning pages and cutting out the little horse that you wanted and all the rest of it. And now you go, all of that's at your fingertips and
yeah,
more. You know, you have
yeah.
access to all of those elite riders and all of their opinions and their training and their insights. You've got the
Mm,
groundwork riders, people like yourself doing podcasts, talking to normal people and
mm,
being able to inspire somebody else to maybe start a podcast, start an Instagram page, to get a young horse, to try something new.
yeah,
And it's the beauty of it. I think social media, there's a lot of negativity around it sometimes, but the positive things that can come out of it, just it
yeah,
outweighs it
yeah,
tenfold. And the people that you meet, like some of my best friends are now from Instagram, and to think you would never have met those people or know what we know, or even when I started Instagram, I would never have talked on camera.
no,
I didn't do voiceovers, I didn't do anything like this.
yeah,
And now I'm sitting filming myself, I can chat away on voiceovers, and you just become a more confident version of you. So I think it's great
yeah,
for personal growth too. There's a lot to be said for it. And as you said as well, like what you can do on Teams and connect
yeah.
with amazing people from all over the world, and it's all at your fingertips. Great.
It's really cool. It's really cool. But thank you for spending your time, because I know that it is time consuming, and time is expensive. So spending your time and logging your journey and showing everybody. So thank you. We love it.
Thank you so much. And thank you again for having me and Mr. Lorcan on this lovely podcast. It has been
Oh,
such a journey, and it's been so lovely hearing all about your life too. It's great to
thank
hear
you.
from, as we said, normal people who are just trying to make a go of this and have
That's
some
right.
fun. It's great,
That's
honestly, and I feel like I've made a friend for life. So it's been
Oh,
so
that's so
lovely.
lovely. Thank you so, so much. Yeah, I always say to people, um, I feel like I've got my confidence back, and that I am like quite a confident rider, but I'll never be a great rider. But
Well,
I'm cool with it.
a great rider is not just what you are in the saddle; it's the decisions you
No.
make.
Oh, that's lovely. Yeah, and I'm just like, I'm fine with that, with all of that. So, oh dear. But thank you so, so much. This has been really lovely. I could talk to you all evening.
Thank you so much. Have a lovely evening, and
Yeah,
it's been a
and
pleasure
you.
again. Thank you.
Thanks so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Katie.
Speak
Bye.
soon. Bye.